Well, hey there team, welcome back to the channel and welcome to Occupy Mars, the game. Warning. Expected temperature drop? Yeah, very good. Okay, so this game is really cool. I sort of brought back the variety show and streamed a bit of this to get my feet grounded, to get an idea of what I'm working with. Okay, alright, I'll have a sleep. Jeez, chill lady. We'll just sleep for a couple of hours to get her off our back. So yeah, out of the gate, this game is really messy and janky and graphical issues and a lot of bugs. I had a save game bug. Dust devils? Oh my goodness. Okay, cool. But yeah, I'm glad I gave it the time of day because it's very ambitious. There's a lot of systems in here. A part of me just sort of looked at it at first and worried that it would be a bit of one of those shovelware sim games that you get out of these sort of, your playway essays and all that sort of stuff. I'm sorry, but that's the sort of culture we live in now, that usually 1 in 100 are gold and the rest are kind of a bit trashy. This is really cool. This game's great. There's a lot of complex systems going on. At the moment, I can't go outside at nighttime because my suit is not made for EVAs. You can see it's just like a basic oxygen suit, and you can tell that I'm in a crashed pod. So I'll just bring you up to speed real quickly. Essentially, the game opens with a really interesting...
Dust devils detected.
No, that's okay. Within the next 3 hours. I don't know. We really need to recharge my suit, but I think I can do that by interacting with a solar panel. But I can't do that until AM. Anyway, I don't want to go outside. It'd be negative 60 or something. So you start off in a Mars base. All these space shuttles landed, a whole bunch of crew and all that. It's actually really quite well done. And someone pointed out in chat, it shows you where a base could get to. And there's all these systems. You're an electrical engineer. Your job is to do maintenance, and they get you doing some tutorial stuff where I was running around replacing fuses and changing all the valves and knobs and handles on like an oxygen reprocessor and CO2 scrubber. So it has all these really cool, and then pressurized airlocks. So it's way more robust than I thought. And then disaster strikes, the base sort of goes wrong. You get in your escape shuttle, but as you can see, our thing didn't really get away. It's a great setup for a survival game, which you don't see very often, right? I used Subnautica's setup as a bit of an example, as kind of the gold standard, where, 30 seconds to a minute, you start the game by crashing, and that's it. And then you're on your own, and that works. But this was good enough to show you how the game works, the calm before the storm. And in any good disaster movie, you have that part. Like, arguably, that's what's missing from the front of a Subnautica, is that cinematic component where it's business as usual with, Dave and Bob and the day shift, and then all of a sudden something goes wrong and the base is on fire, right?
Weather alert. Dust devils detected.
Sure. Anyway, so I'll finish my little sort of back brief. But yeah, so it shows you all the systems. You try and escape in your escape pod, it goes sideways, and now my escape pod's landed in the middle of nowhere in a procedural part of Mars. There are some sort of structures. This is my little base that I'm working on, but it's not habitat ready. It has some really cool water, oxygen, food systems, the way that you have to power things through cables. There's a cabling system. It's really just well done. There's an XP system. Let me have a look here. Blueprints, this is all the stuff we can build, but it's dictated by these tech trees, right? I don't have this one. But for example, if I want to level up the materials one, I just got to sort of build stuff or deconstruct stuff. I've got a whole bunch of, sort of heavy construction equipment, and I was grinding down some boxes, and then I was able to build a workshop, and this is the thing that I've been working on now. Mechanics, what else? Oh, I need to build this blowtorch so I can build some more things. And then electronics, I unlocked a transformer so I can plug multiple sort of energy generators, multiple solar panels into that and use it to reroute it. And then there's a whole control panel interface that's usable, quite easy, sort of punchy UI element. And then you can reroute it to the output, so it's like 4 in, 4 out. And then there's you can open up panels, and there's control panels underneath. I managed to find a little rover. I'll sleep through to the morning now. 8 AM is good to go. I've sat here talking the whole time. I don't know how sleep deprived my dude's going to be during the day. I found a little rover, but then I had to cannibalize its control panel.
Closing in. Find shelter.
Tornado closing in. Oh my god. I really want that power though. I'm worried. Oh, 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 oh. Oh. Oh, I'm inside a tornado. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Ah! Alright, let's stay in here then. So you can see we've got hunger, we've got hydration. Hunger is pretty straightforward at the moment, though I need to get a hydroponic set up or whatever, because all I've got is just my pre-packaged food that I've found. So we'll consume that. My tummy's full. Water, I've managed to, I used, what is it, this? I've used this to manage to find an underground spring well and tapped that, and that's where my base is built on top of that. I've built a well which is self-sustaining. It has its own sort of, well, you can see it's detecting it there, has its own sort of solar panel. I'll put that away, Scarlet. No, I hate how you do that. This is my grinder, so I could grind all this stuff up if I wanted. I might as well keep going through. The mining is really cool as well. You can see I've already chipped away, I've broken some of these rocks. And the way I put it, it's like they have a creamy sort of nougat center. And you have to chip at the useless rock, and in the middle is the hidden ore that you want. And you drill that out, and then you can put the ore into this sort of machine here. We've got a processor. We can make steel plates, for example, is what I was doing. But we could make all this. So it's really cool. And then when I landed, all of these bits of equipment were fastened in these holsters. And then we had some survival gear in these like overhead compartments as well, like some basic materials. Yeah, it's just really cool how this is like a self-supporting emergency situation. Oh no, my suit battery is so low. I need this to go away. Does it look like it's going away? I can't tell if that's a music sound effect. Oh no, my helmet, take my helmet off. My helmet's flashing.
Oxygen source external.
Because this is pressurized as well. So this is cool, it gives you everything that a growing boy needs, but it has its limitations. Whoa. Oh, there goes my ore. And yeah, that's just a ruin. I kind of went through and I gutted a bit of it. I got drilled some boxes and stuff like that. Oh, look at the chunks of ore getting blown around. Oh, this is great. Some people compared aspects of this to like Stationeers, and I can see that. Stationeers is definitely going for a way more like, I don't even want to necessarily say like it's masturbatory, but it focuses so hard on its core systems that Stationeers all these years later is still not a game, right? So this is like a lighter version of Stationeers. It has complex systems, however, it's managed to temper itself in such a way that, why is my head flashing? This is focused more on actually being a game. I think maybe it's just flashing because I need to put it on at some point. Water bottle, O2, let's swap our O2 bottle out. And then we'll refill it here. Tin can, it reminds me of a little bit, the way that you sort of interact with these mechanical systems and play with them. Nope. I have to get, the controls are weird. Like if it's inventory items, press E to put it away, but if it's like this, you press right click to put away. So yeah, there's some weird stuff going on. I really need this weather to go away. I can't see it now. Do I risk it? It's gone towards my base. I'm gonna risk it. I'm gonna risk it. I really need to recharge this suit.
Helmet sealed.
Very good. I mean, the music sounds a bit better. The scary music went away. That's got to be a good sign, right? Alright, let's go find out.
Alert. Radiation detected.
Oh. Well, what do I do about that? High radiation warning? It's not like that's going to go away. Is it because my suit's not... I think this works. Come on, please work. Suit battery charged. Okay, that's good. Oh, and that's helped with the radiation. Fantastic. Cool. Because what I was sort of trying to siphon it off my power. I've built a giant battery, but I don't believe... See, that's the out part. I've set it... Power in 0.4 kilowatts. Can I... It didn't seem to be charging. Yeah, see, I don't think I can charge off that. Bit weird, alright? This is just one of the quirks of how this game seems to work. Like, for example, if I want water, I need to go over to my well and just put my mouth over the hose. You can see it's replenishing down the bottom right.
Water refilled.
Okay, cool. Inventory. Let's eat some food. Okay, we're good. We might have lost a little bit of health from that radiation. And then, for example, like, we can pick this up and then plug that in. And then we've got this water tube running to this workshop that I'm working on getting functional, right? So yeah, there we go. Sorry, it was a little bit of a dire situation, but it seems to have all come good in the end. So let's just replenish off this. Yeah, look, that's working. And then I'll give you a bit of a tour. So this is really fun. I might stream some more. We're doing things a little bit different, perhaps, on the channel. I like doing overviews, but the problem with when I do an overview of a new game, like this, is the 30 minutes turns into a bit of a fumbling around first look, and I don't like that. You can see when I do my more revisits, like the recent ones, like Ixion and that, because I know the game and I have a grounding, it's more informative, whereas, yeah, it can be a bit harder with the new games. So we've got a light post there. I'll show you in here. I don't believe this airlock really works because we don't have an oxygen source going into it. You can see my exterior O2 is nothing. We've got these hydroponics plant incubators set up, but we still need to get the systems working here. What's going on here? Structure detected. Resources, demand, supply. Okay, cool. Again, this is a little bit outside of my purview. To really make this workshop pop, we need to start generating oxygen in some way, I believe. But I'm not sure yet. It's a little bit beyond me. You can see I've run all these cables, and you can see here, that's the oxygen plug. So we've got water, we've got power, we're getting there. So we've got solar panels, and there's some that I'm building at the moment, and you've run a cable. Blue is like out. Blue is the generator end, and yellow is in. And I've run them into this sort of, I can't remember what they call it in the game, but it's a transformer, right? So we've got these in parts, and then I've got these sort of out parts. So you can see I'm running one into the base, running one to that light around the front, and I'm running one to this, which is a battery. And you can see when we were looking here, capacity, 12 out of 100, power in, power out. You can adjust this power out. And same with this, you can adjust where the power comes from and where it goes. And like, it just even show you this, there's a fuse box, right, for circuit breakers. And you can fill this with breakers as well, right? So you can potentially screw up your power grid and blow out the fuse. And in the beginning sort of prologue, it taught me how to replace fuses and such. So like, honestly, as someone that enjoys engineering and all that sort of stuff, I come from an engineering background. You know, I've obviously have a pretty storied background with stationeers. I like the balance they've got here. I think this is kind of perfect. It's a great balance behind a little bit more cerebral, the systems and breakers and power, but still intuitive for anyone, right? You don't have to have a degree to understand it or anything like that, whereas you sort of have to have that background in stationeers when it comes to sort of, you know, specific heat capacities and temperatures and volume and all that. Like, but again, it's not a very fair comparison because stationeers, who even knows if that will ever really be a game, as opposed to a sort of a sandbox of systems. So I think the balance of this game is perfect between game and slightly more cerebral system. But everyone's going to be different. Here's Andrew, my little car. However, Andrew's not working because I pulled his brain out and I put it in the battery. So we might have to get around to that. I found him in the ruins. Now, even just another thing over here. I wonder if the sandstorm cleared it or anything. But something I noticed before. And you never know, it could have been reset by the save. It looks like it has been reset. Yeah, see, look, we got some weird stuff. See this sort of, this square impression? That's a bit strange. But what I did notice is that it was persisting for multiple days worth. It was persisting rover tracks. So I drove him out to there, and then back in and out to there, and you could see the multiple paths developing, and I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. So they're obviously, it's still early access and it's janky as anything. They're still working out kinks. But yeah, look at this weird square impression. I assume this has to do with the sandstorm, to be honest. Yeah, but the fact that they're trying to get like persistent track marks and all that is wild. It's really cool. I'm going to show you mining, because the mining system, it reminds me of, here's a weird call, Starbase. Is that what it's called? I really love that game and I wish it didn't flop so hard. Here we go, let's start a new project over here. Though this is iron, but I'll show you what it looks like when you go to a new rock. This is a very large rock. You go up to it and you just start drilling, and it's like carving marble in a way. Just got to find the place. Where is it? There we go. You sort of just got to get the mouth feel for where to put it. Or you can see, now that's a bit of ore that we want. So let's see if we can carve it out. There we go, perfect. And then you drill it, and it takes a bit longer, and it will give me the little ore nugget. You know the bits that you saw flying around in the sandstorm, in the willy willy? Iron ore, very good, right? And so you can continue to just sort of, as far as mining mini games go, I think this is pretty brilliant, to be honest. It's engaging, because mining is the ultimate busy work, waste of time thing in most games, right? But and yeah, I mentioned Starbase because I believe Starbase had something similar to this. I mean, it's not perfect. If I make this fall over, it's going to bounce around like a balloon castle. But I think it's a pretty brilliant system. It's engaging. It keeps you busy. Let's see. Let's cut it down like a tree. Yeah. But there you can see the little creamy center bits, and then you pick them up. Put that in my inventory. Whoop, wrong button. Put that in my inventory. It's cool. And by doing stuff, you get the corresponding tech. All right, I'm not quite sure. You can see there 3.7 out of 15 for electricity. Materials is 8 out of 14. 13 out of 30. I believe mechanics might be the mining that I'm doing. Botany, I'm not getting anything because, well, I'm still working out botany. What can I do here? First aid kit, plant incubator. Yeah, we've built them. Small hydroponic shelf, water gas cable, fridge. Yeah, see, I don't know how to generate oxygen yet. I don't believe I do. Blowtorch. Blowtorch might be the next go, right? Because if you go to the blueprints tab, I've built these, the airlock and the ramp. I've built all of these. I mean, I could probably work that battery as a buffer into my system. There's the well. There's the workshop that we built. There's the hydroponic parts. So that's it. The soundtrack's pretty cool. It works. So yeah, look, as far as a sort of Mars survival game goes, this is kind of brilliant. However, it's getting bashed in mixed reviews, and I can totally understand it. It's having a rough launch. But I think if you're willing to put a few hours in, there is something magic in here. I truly think so. Blowtorch, aluminium plate, pack of screws, small pipe, inventory. Okay, so if I go here, I do have packet. So see, this is fiddly as well. So This is the resource inventory on the printer. I guess I could put the small pipe in there. Do I have aluminium plate? There we go. So we put all that in, and we go back to the print, and we should be able to do it. What am I even trying to make? Blowtorch. Okay, print. Right? Now, what you have to do is go to the printing inventory, print container. Oh, did I do it wrong? Did I make a boo-boo? Oh, maybe I didn't. Aha. Is it still printing? Yep, okay, cool. It's still printing now. I'm not even actually sure what go is with opening this. Maybe it will put my blowtorch there when it's done. Maybe this is supposed to animate or something. It doesn't seem to, but that's okay. We'll get the blowtorch. We'll play a little bit more because I like it a lot. So yeah, we might, from a more channel perspective, this might be a better way for me to do overviews. I like the idea of showing people something as opposed to fumbling through it, right? I don't want to waste your time. And I enjoyed the stream as well. It was a lot of fun. If you do want to go back and watch it, I'll have it archived, but it'll be on the front of my page. Like, I'll put in a playlist, but unlisted. I don't want to get into it, but it's a lot of channel-specific algorithm nonsense. Inventory, print container. Oh, I should check if it's in here. No, it's not. That's okay. So that's sort of defunct. All right. So I grab the blowtorch. So let's see what this does. Now, how much detail, how much depth is it going to have? I don't know. But these first few hours, the discovery of it have been. What are you doing, Scarlet? You already have a blowtorch. Upgradable. Sorry, for some reason I thought that this was like a hand torch or a smaller thing because when I read the blueprint, it said, what did it say? Essential tool for constructing larger objects. To me, there was an inference that maybe there was more to happen there. Ah, bugger. You silly sausage. Well, I'm at a little bit of a standstill now. There's more tick tree. I've unlocked the grinder. Maybe I try and figure out what I'm going for. Pump station. What's a pump? That might be how we generate O2. How are we going to do that? We need to increase our small corridor. Oh, this is exciting. So I could potentially try and build more stuff to level that up, or I could go into ruins and try and grind them. Though my grinder can't grind much left in that ruin. Like it has a ceiling to it. If you take my meaning, if you follow. I'll have to have a think about this. Anyway, I think this is a pretty natural sort of place to maybe stop for a sec. And there's a kind of beauty to it, especially like when the sun was coming down. There was like a sunset, and yeah. I'm really impressed. They're a lot of fun. But like I said, buyer beware. If your tolerance for jank and dodgy sort of graphics and systems and all that, like I had an issue loading my save. There was a bug that was making it so I couldn't load my save, but they patched it within 24 hours. Their Discord is very enthusiastic and active. And so, like, with an early access project, forget early access, AAA games release broken, and I'm not saying that's okay, but like, if you're gonna, on one hand, you're still gonna buy the AAA releases that are broken, and on the other hand, you're gonna lambast a AA or an indie game for having launch bugs in an early access state. I don't know what to tell you, brother. Anyway, but the point is, bug was found, identified, and fixed almost immediately, which is wonderful. Anyway, so Occupy Mars, the game. For my part, I reckon you should potentially give it a go, or at least check out my other stream. There'll be links around. I'll probably, if I remember, I'll put a link in the description for this on this video. But I think it's a really, really cool gem that's getting buried in negative reviews. And I myself am a convert because, as we said, to put it, to go back to the beginning, I am quite cagey when it comes to these, bloody wall painting simulator. You know, these simulator type games coming out of these double A shovel houses. I personally get a bit worried about them, but maybe we're turning a corner where we're actually starting to churn out good products, which is cool. That's exciting. Anyway, team, let me know if you want to see some more. Might just leave it there for the time being, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.